In Osrc News at 7, friends, colleagues, associates eulogize Akeredolu at Special Christian Way. ODSG cancels February monthly sanitation in honor of late former Governor Akeredolu. Amid rising cost of living, Lagos State government to give residents free meal, announces 25% transport slash. And from the foreign scene, UK Parliament in disarray as Gaza ceasefire debate ends in farce. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, through his Chief Press Secretary Ebenezer Adeniran, declared Thursday 22nd and Friday 23rd of February 2024 as public holidays in Ondo State. This is to honor the former governor of the state, late Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu. In line with the directive, the State Secretariat, housing government offices, ministries, departments and agencies witnessed no activities, as entrance gates to the facilities were either locked or manned by security officers on duty. It was the same at some private organizations like financial institutions, which witnessed no activity, which were closed to customers. Some residents and passers-by in the axis commended the state government for honoring the former governor, describing his contributions to development of the Sunshine State as enormous.
I tell you that I'm not from Ondo here, but I enjoy the peace in Akure here and Ondo in general. So even if they make it up to 1 week public holiday, it's not too much for Akiti. I'm telling you, wherever his spirit is today, I pray mighty God will give him everlasting rest.
The man deserves the holiday, and the action where they perform there, you can see that they try. This holiday is very, very good as they give us in this other state.
Akeredolu's demise has continued to elicit encomiums and glowing tributes from Ondo State indigenes and non-indigenes who believe nothing is too much to celebrate the icon.
He ruled us well, so we should thank God. If the state declare 2 days public holiday, he deserves it now. So everybody should mourn him, should go to the venue to celebrate him. It's a big life.
Everywhere it looked on. Everywhere looked on. You can see everywhere now. No, in fact, the way that the back people are passing, you can see everywhere that the road is dry. Even back man, everybody, all the Okada.
1-day-long burial activity for the former governor of Ondo State, late Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, will come to an end with a Thanksgiving service at St. Andrew's Church, Imolawo, on Sunday, 25th February 2024 by 10 sanitation exercise in the state. A statement by the General Manager of Ondo State Waste Management Authority, Mr. Adefola Omowale, said the cancellation is as a result of the ongoing final burial ceremony of the late former governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. Mr. Omowale urged residents of the state to use the period to clean their surroundings. He assured residents of the present administration's commitment towards a healthy environment. Meanwhile, the burial activities for the late former governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, which started last Thursday, continues with candlelight procession and world gyration by the Kegates Club by 8 p.m. till dawn. On Friday, February 23, funeral service will hold at St. Andrew's Church, Imolawo, at 10 a.m. Interment follows immediately after the burial service at the burial site, and this is strictly for the immediate family. Reception will take place at Midas Hotel and Resort, Career Road, by 1 p.m. on Saturday, February 24. This for Akeredolu Memorial Football Match at Akure Township Stadium by 3 p.m., while Thanksgiving service will be on Sunday, February 25 at St. Andrew's Church, Imola Street, Owo, at 10 a.m. The federal government has announced ban on exportation of liquefied petroleum gas, popularly called cooking gas, in a bid to increase its volume domestically to warrant a crash in price. It stated on Thursday that LPG producers in Nigeria and key stakeholders in the industry have been told to stop exporting the commodity out of Nigeria, then jump in the cost of cooking gas. Findings showed that the cost of refilling a 12.5 kg cylinder of cooking gas in Abuja, Lagos, Kano and some other states had climbed to about 18,000 naira. It was also specifically 17,500 naira in Abuja on Thursday, a product that sold for less than 9,000 naira in November last year. LPG dealers under the aegis of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers had predicted mid-last year that a 12.5 kg cylinder would cost 18,000 naira, going by the incessant hikes in its cost. President Bola Tinubu has said his administration is strongly committed to providing excellent healthcare facilities for all Nigerians and will continue to prioritize domestic and foreign direct investment in the sector. The president made this remarks at a meeting with the president and chairman of the board of directors of the African Export-Import Bank, Osrc Bank, Benedict Orama, accompanied by a delegation from King's College Hospital, London. President Tinubu, who was recently appointed the African Union Champion for Human Resources for Health and Community Health Delivery Partnership, emphasized that the continent cannot afford to remain behind in the quality and accessibility of its healthcare system. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Pati, explained that the bank and the King's College Hospital are also collaborating on building a medical and nursing school in line with the administration's commitment to expanding the training of healthcare professionals in the country. The Senate has kicked against plans by the Ministry of Power to approve the proposed hikes in electricity tariff by distribution companies. The Senate also rejected plans to remove electricity subsidy given the present hardships in the country. The upper chamber would directed the Committee on Power to investigate the 2 trillion naira required for electricity subsidy payment, other debts owed in the sector, and the state of metering in the country, called on the government to step down the idea of an increase in electricity tariff. Last week, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, said at a press conference in Abuja that Nigeria was not likely to sustain the current electricity subsidy payment. He explained that the indebtedness of the country's power sector to electricity generating companies and gas companies had risen to over 3 trillion naira. We're due to take a break on the news at 7. We'll be back with more stories.
Hello, my bro. Man, the rain is so heavy here. And there's so much traffic. I think we should postpone, huh?
Not a chance. Aisha.
We don't quit, guys. I'll be there.
Done.
2 files received.
I'm on my way. Take first right in 50 meters and you're there.
Copy that. Aisha, where are you?
Guess where?
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Move. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Runway X.
The future of fashion showcasing.
Very impressive. How did you pull that off?
With Nigeria's top tech talents.
And Glow.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data. Glow with pride.
7. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. The National Union of Road Transport Workers in Ondo State has constituted a 7-man committee to steer the affairs of the union. Leader of the committee, Ademola Odudu, while addressing members of the union at the state secretariat in Accra, the state capital, called for peaceful coexistence among members across the state. Omori Olambuji has details.
We are here to witness the inauguration of the newly established State Parks Management Committee.
For months now, activities of National Union of Road Transport Workers have been grounded in Ondo State due to internal crisis threatening the peace of the state. Hence, the reason for government's decision to constitute Park Management Committee headed by Mr. Adebo Jacob, popularly called Idajo. Now that the state government has lifted ban on the operations of the union, the national body constituted 7-man committee led by Ademola Odudu. This is the first general meeting to be held since the return of the union activities in the state. Addressing the gathering, the team leader, Mr. Odudu, said the union has learned a lot from its previous mistakes and banned illegal activities that are impoverishing members.
His Excellency Local Mr. Ayedatiwa and the government of Ondo State, we thank them for their effort in bringing peace to the union, especially NURTW in Ondo State. Before now, we operate on Park Management Committee because of the crisis and loss of life, which God has now turned to happiness in Ondo State.
While declaring zero tolerance for thuggery and hooliganism in the state, Mr. Odudu preached peace in all units by the state level, saying anyone that contradicts this will face the wrath of the law.
We are addressing the member of NURTW in Ondo State to being of a good conduct and to abide with the rules of the union, to make sure there's peace in Ondo State and at their various parks. We don't want any thuggery, hooliganism. We want everybody to cooperate with the government to move the state forward.
Some members appreciated the state government for lifting the ban on the activities of the union.
Installation that been given to the NURTW today now, we are all happy. We are all happy because this is what we have been fighting for. We want NURTW in Ondo State to be restored, and it has been restored.
The 7-man committee will continue to man the affairs of the union until formal inauguration. Omori Olahunbiji, Osrc News.
Says it will engage canteens locally known as Mama Put to feed between 1,000 to 1,500 residents daily in each of the local government areas of the state. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State will review this today during a media chat, explaining that the move is part of measures to cushion the impact of the rising cost of living in the country, which has sparked protests in several cities. Aside from the soup kitchens, Governor Sanwo-Olu also announced a 25% reduction on all public transportation in the state, owing to the removal of fuel subsidy, which has skyrocketed the cost of transportation, among others. The Labour Party deputy governorship candidate election won by incumbent Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu Oyekosu made a resignation known in a letter dated February 22, 2024, and addressed to the chairman of the party in Ikorodu area of the state. In the letter, Oyekosu said it was time for her to move as the party's values no longer align with hers. The Nigeria Police Force has concluded its review of the issuance of tinted glass permits previously banned in June 2022. The ban was initiated due to widespread concerns regarding the role of tinted glass in aiding heinous crimes such as kidnapping, armed robbery, the illegal transportation of firearms, and human trafficking. The police said the development is in a bid to enhance national security and curb criminal activities facilitated by the misuse of tinted glass. The first public relations officer, Olumoyiwa Adejobi, in a statement said with the proposed lifting of the ban, stringent measures are being implemented to prevent abuse and ensure strict compliance with guidelines governing the insurance and use of tinted glass permits. Adejobi added that the ICT analysts and enforcement officers nationwide will undergo a comprehensive training scheduled for the 29th of February 2024 in preparation to the reopening of tinted glass permit issuance. The country home of former governor, late Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. A special Appreciation Break service has been held in honor of the late former governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. The event held at the Cathedral Church of St. Andrews, Imola, Owo, was attended by people from all walks of life, including Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, Osrc's governor.
It was reliable. Once he gives his word, he can go to bed. You don't have to come back and remind him. Because of time, I will not go on and give instances. But everybody living knows that he was very dependable and reliable man. May God continue to bless his beautiful soul.
In his exhortation entitled A Life of Purpose, the Archbishop of Ondo Anglican Ecclesiastical Province, Most Reverend Simeon Borokini, said a life without God and positive purpose is a wasted life. He described the late governor as a man who lived for the people while fulfilling God's purpose.
No worries about political cross-carpeting, the burden of governance, primary election, election rigging, election tribunal, and all sorts. No more challenges and millions of bandits, insecurity, food scarcity, and so on. He is free from sickness.
The event also featured demonstration of great songs loved by the late governor.
Authority of heads of state and government to lift sanctions on Mali, Burkina Faso, and the Niger Republic. Gowon, who is one of the founding fathers of ECOWAS, made the call in an open letter to the heads of state and the ECOWAS member states in Abuja on Wednesday evening. The three countries, which were slammed with sanctions by the sub-regional political economic bloc following military takeovers in their respective countries, recently declared their decision to withdraw from the bloc. Addressing a press conference at ECOWAS Commission's headquarters, Gowon expressed concern that a decision by Burkina Faso, Mali, and the Niger Republic to exit ECOWAS threatens the unity of the bloc, with far-reaching implications for ordinary citizens. And the foreign scene now, chaotic scenes unfolded in the parliamentary debate on the Gaza ceasefire, with the Tories withdrawing from the vote. The debate ended in the heated discussion saw members of parliament from all sides passionately arguing their positions, but ultimately no decision was made. The Tories' withdrawal further added to the confusion and frustration of the proceedings. Despite calls for action, the deadlock continues, leaving the situation in Gaza unresolved. Kemisola Jamo has details.
Outside the parliament, protesters demanded a vote backing the Scottish National Party's call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza inside a flurry of controversy and a sign of things to come as the Speaker unexpectedly put forward the prospect of allowing a vote not just on the government's amendment but also on one put forward by the main opposition Labour Party.
Support for this motion would further remove that ever-thinning veil of legitimacy that the UK's continued support gives to Israel's merciless war in Gaza.
For Labour, the worst political danger here, worried that many of its own members of parliament might vote with the SNP as they had in a similar debate in November. Hence, its own amendment for the first time endorsing an immediate ceasefire, but with cautions.
It must, by necessity, be observed by all sides, or it isn't a ceasefire. That's why we are clear. Israel cannot be expected to cease fighting if Hamas continues with violence. Israelis have the right to the assurance that the horror of the 7th of October cannot happen again.
The very fact that Labour had been allowed out of a tricky situation infuriated the ruling Conservatives, who pulled out of the process entirely.
The government will play no further part in the decision this House takes on today's proceedings. I would like to stress that the government's position on Israel and Gaza remains unchanged.
A number of Conservative and SNP members of Parliament then walked out before Labour's amendment was eventually passed and a shell-shocked Speaker returned to his chair for the first time since opening the debate.
I thought I was doing the right thing and the best thing, and I regret it and I apologise.
I will take significant convincing that your position is not now intolerable.
Kemi Solojomu, Osrc News.
Madrid protest lack of government aid hindered by police. Sector struggles due to fuel prices and environmental issues as Spanish farmers have been protesting for weeks against what they see as government inaction in addressing their challenges. Police have prevented them from meeting up with other protesters, leading the farmers to take drastic measures. Oluseyi Akinwale has details.
The outskirts of Madrid, where dozens of tractors were waiting to descend on the city for 3 weeks, farmers from all over the country have been voicing their anger at what they say is the government's failure to address the difficulties they're facing, and there is little sign they are backing down.
We just want to make a living. We don't want the politics of the Agriculture Ministry and the European Union to destroy our farming sector.
Adding to the frustration, police prevented the tractors from meeting up with the rest of the protesters. Eventually, the police let them through, but many were angry at their intervention, causing further chaos in the city. Since 2022, Spain's farming sector has suffered a decline in production, many blaming the spike in fuel prices and the source of frustration, the European Union echoing the message from farmers protesting in other EU countries. They say bureaucratic measures from Brussels, known as the Common Agricultural Policy, are affecting their ability to make a living, while Spain's agriculture minister has announced measures to ensure farmers receive a fair deal. Many here fear it won't be enough. And there are other challenges. Drought and floods have hit Spain hard, other than other producers in Europe. Politicians seeking to address this will need to balance how they can put environmental measures in place without piling more pressure on the farmers themselves. Oluseyi Akinwale, Osrc News.
Look at the latest stories. We told you the continuation of the burial activities for former